How's it, guys? Welcome back to FX Rhapsody. Today I will do some quick analysis on three pairs. It's going to be the Euro USD, British Pound USD Dollar, and then also the British Pound Japanese Yen. It's going to be three pairs. It's going to be a quick analysis, just looking quickly at what the daily chart gives us for the coming week. Before we go into the charts, just go visit my website. I've got some cool features there. I've also updated the COT reports for you guys to go and download, and you can use it on any other pairs that you are trading. All right, so let's hit the charts. On the Euro USD, let me zoom out a little bit first before we draw a bit down. Reason for that is I'm just still looking at this liquidity at the bottom here. It's still untapped, so we've got all this liquidity at the bottom to where price might still be heading. Then what we also have is, I'm just going to pull my Fibonacci from the high to the low. This is just all these things that I'm seeing in the charts. So basically we can see price going down, starting to kind of retrace back. Essentially what we would like to see is obviously price retracing back to that area between the 70.5% and the 79% retracement area. But before price heads that way, I just wanted to indicate another couple of things. It's over here is liquidity. So currently we find liquidity that's lying up there. It has not been tapped into by price action. Currently price is sitting in this area over here. It serves as a little bit of a resistance area for those of you that love the support and resistance. So price has not broken through that yet. It went into it and it retracted on the close of play on Friday. So we've got that liquidity lying up there. We've also got this liquidity that price can potentially go and hunt and tap into. So we've got this area that price still needs to push into before it moves on. Now we've got the big Fibonacci at the top, like I said, looking for price to retrace all the way back into that area and the top here. But then you also have, before we go carry on, just wanted to show you this. We've got this area of liquidity, look here, that was lying at the bottom here. So price tapped that liquidity, and as soon as it did that, price started pushing to the upside. So now let's go and put our Fibonacci. Let's say, for instance, that this was a turning point. So we go to from the low to the high of those candles. So that was the end of the week. Let's just expand a little bit. So if price does not, this coming week, if price carries on to the upside, which we will obviously have a closer look on from Monday on the lower time frames, but there's a potential that price might go up and tap that area, maybe come back and retrace it. Let's just measure this, or draw it here, retrace this area, and then carry on, like I said, pushing to the upside to that 70%. So that is the first scenario that can happen. So we can see price pushing up to go and tap that liquidity. Another scenario obviously is from here price could just go back and retrace back to this area. I would almost say this is always a key area. Let's just make it not that big, but anywhere between the 62% and the 79% is a very good area for price to retrace back to, and from there on make its way to the upside. Whoops, wrong button. Or we can actually just see price going down and eventually, move to the downside, because we still also have, some new liquidity on this turning point here. So price might come push down, tapping that liquidity, and then move to the upside. So we have all the scenarios. For me, don't like to be biased. I don't like to predict what's going to happen, but I will definitely be looking at something like this for this coming week. Obviously drilling down to the lower time frames, and I will just trade the market or trade what the market gives me, basically. Which up? So let's go to the British pound US dollar next. So over here, we can see that, let's just make it a bit smaller. So if I have to put, let's put our Fibonacci to this movement to the downside. So that's from the top to the bottom, price moving down. Price came nicely. Let's just expand it a little bit. So we can see price pushed back or retraced back nicely into this area. It's not just a key area for retracement, but also there was some nice liquidity that was lying at the top here. And look at that. Price just went and hunted that liquidity. So this is this was Friday, a very sweet spot to sell, which will more likely push price to the downside. If we look at the COT reports, let's just bring up, I actually forgot to mention the COT reports now on the previous pair. And let's just bring it up here quickly. My computer is now messing with me. There we go. All right. So looking at the COT reports for the British pound, you can see that a lot of negative net positions in the market. So basically what we can see is that we had the week before, we had a lot of shorts being put in the market, hence this pushing down of the market or price pushing down. And we still have a lot of shorts, or there's a couple of shorts have been pulled out of the market, and with that price pushed up. So we might see now, especially now, it's still being in a very negative net position, but we still might see price pushing down to the downside here, and then moving to the upside. Just wanted to go back quickly while we're on the subject of COT reports. Here we go. Let's just minimize this. Let's just look at the euro again quickly. So on the euro USD side, we can see a lot of shorts being put in the market. A lot of longs being taken out the market the week before that as well. Lots of longs being closed, and there was shorts being closed, but there's a lot of shorts being put in the market, meaning that the big banks and institutes are pushing the price to the downside. You can see this net positions as well. It went from a 57,000 down to a 10,000. So in my opinion is price will be, especially for the euro, will be pushing to the downside. We can also see that the dollar is strengthening as well. Now let's go to our next pair, will be the British pound, Japanese yen. Okay, so what do we see in this chart? So there we go. I actually made it beforehand. So what you can see is your trend line moving to the downside. So the price is following this trend line all the while. So you can see it's been a strong trend line. You can see that there's liquidity lying at the top here. I have put my Fibonacci again from the low to the high, and then price pushing to this downside. So this is my analysis. Bias again, in a sense, because we are still looking at this trend line. Price has not broken this trend line. So once we see price break this trend line and it comes and retests this area, then there's a nice potential buy for this liquidity hunt that's going to be on the top. But if that is not the case, if price stays in respecting this trend line and it bounces off it again, we can see price going down to tap that liquidity that's at the bottom. And again, on the COT report, we know that the British pound, let's just pull it up again. We know that the British pound is in a weak state at the moment. It can recover from this, but I mean, we can still not recover, but I mean, the guys can still push the price up. And you can see, you know, the Japanese yen has been, ever since, it's been in a negative, big negative position, 63,000 currently sitting, but it's been hovering in that positions, you know, longs being put in the market, then shorts, then vice versa, as you can see here. So basically, cancelling each other out. So I could still see that the pound might just push the yen down still. But again, let's not predict what the market will do. Let's rather react to it. So, but definitely this area over here is the key area. So we will be watching this area now, this coming week. And as soon as price breaks through it, yes, we will wait for the buy. But definitely, currently we're looking for a nice sell for this coming week. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this analysis. Just don't forget to hit that like button. Please comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know of any other pairs that you want me to analyze. I would like to analyze some more space maybe through this week. Have some more strategies coming your way as well. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell as well. And then just, so that you can be on top of it, of the new videos coming. Guys, I hope you're staying safe. And I hope you have a pipful week ahead. And yes, happy trading, guys.